Midnight. The blue light of her phone flashes in the dark again. I watch, eyes open, breath slow as her hand moves under the covers. Her face turned away, but the glow gives her away. The screen dims, then lights up, then dims again. My name is Ethan Crane. I'm 46, logistics operations manager for a mid-sized company here in suburban Indiana. I balance checkbooks in pen, and I've never missed a mortgage payment. I also know when something doesn't add up. The first time, it's just a late buzz, work emergency maybe. The second time, it's a string of messages, each one lighting up the darkness like a warning signal. Always just after midnight. Weekends, work nights, doesn't matter. Always after she thinks I'm asleep. The name on the phone. Cousin Mark. Here's the thing though, Mark is not someone I've ever met. 12 years of marriage, and this cousin never came to Christmas dinner, never sent a birthday card, never even got mentioned in passing. Funny how family suddenly matters at midnight. I count the buzzes. 3, 4. Her fingers move fast under the blanket, typing responses I'll never see. The next morning I ask, simple question over coffee. Everything okay with your family? Her hand hovers too long over her mug. Steam rises between us like a screen. It's nothing to worry about, family stuff. She doesn't meet my eyes when she says it. I nod, take a sip of my coffee, set the cup down in the exact same spot. That's when the decision gets made. I never ask again. Instead, I start to notice things. You work in logistics long enough, you develop an eye for patterns, for things that don't fit the system. Passwords changed on accounts I used to access, cash missing from the lockbox we keep for emergencies, never big amounts, just 20s here and there. Her laughter echoing from the bathroom at odd hours, phone pressed to her ear. New work trips that somehow never line up with her pay stubs. You know what I do instead of confronting her? I start sleeping with my phone under the pillow, not for comfort, for timestamps. 12:47 a.m. Tuesday. 1:23 a.m. Friday, 12:15 a.m. Sunday. The pattern emerges like a shipping schedule, regular, predictable, planned. I watch her during dinner now, really watch. The way she pushes food around her plate without eating, the way she checks her phone every few minutes, even when it hasn't buzzed, the way she's stopped asking about my day. We sit across from each other every night, and it's like looking at a stranger wearing my wife's face. Cold shoulder where there used to be warmth, untouched meals where there used to be conversation, numbers that don't add up where there used to be trust. I pull out our joint credit card statement one evening. She's in the shower, another 45-minute marathon that started happening about 2 months ago. There's a charge I don't recognize, then another. Small amounts, nothing that would trigger a fraud alert. But I know every transaction in our accounts like I know every shipment route in my territory. These charges, they're not ours. The water shuts off upstairs. I slide the statement back into its folder, file it away in my mind along with all the other pieces that don't quite fit. That night, I lie in bed and stare at the ceiling. She's next to me, phone dark for once, breathing steady. But something fundamental has shifted in this room. In this house, in whatever this thing between us used to be. The fracture is clean, final. My marriage, I realize, isn't a partnership anymore. It's just a contract waiting to be dissolved. And contracts, well, those I understand perfectly. The midnight buzzing starts again, right on schedule. This time, I don't just watch, I start planning. The next time her phone buzzes at midnight, I get up without a word. I walk to the living room and sit in my recliner, staring at the wall clock. 12:23 a.m. I pull out my phone and add it to my notes. The pattern is forming, like a freight schedule I can predict to the minute. The next day, while she's at her supposed work meeting, I spread our household bills across the kitchen table like evidence at a crime scene. Credit card statements, bank records, utility bills. Everything we've built together, line by line. Wire transfers at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday. Small withdrawals from the ATM across town. always in round numbers, always when I'm at work. Then I find the big one, a hotel room booked under her maiden name, Jennifer Lawson, not Jennifer Crane. How long has she been planning to stop being my wife? Here's what cuts the deepest. It isn't the affair. Affairs happen. People fall out of love, find someone new, move on. It's the quiet, calculated siphoning, the slow draining of everything we built together. Like she's been bleeding our life dry, one small cut at a time. I sit back in my chair and stare at the receipts. Her cousin isn't even a real relative. Mark is just some guy from her past, a recent connection she never mentioned in 12 years of marriage. But that's not even the worst part. I need help seeing what I'm missing. Someone with legal training who can spot the patterns I can't. My sister Alex, she's a paralegal, sharp as a blade, meticulous as a surgeon. Always said Jennifer was too quick with a joke. Never trusted easy charm. I call her that evening. Can you come by this weekend? I need you to look at something. Everything okay, Ethan? Just come by. Bring your reading glasses. Saturday morning, Alex spreads my documents across the dining room table, like she's preparing for trial. Her fingers move across the papers with the precision of someone who spent 20 years finding lies in legal paperwork. Even. Her voice drops. Look at this signature. She holds up a credit application. My name, but the handwriting is wrong. The E curves differently. The N slants the wrong way. Someone's been forging your signature. She finds more. A credit line opened in my name that I never applied for. A recurring payment to an account I've never seen. The betrayal is bigger than infidelity. It's identity theft, financial abuse. A pattern that could destroy my credit, my savings, my future. How long has this been going on? Alex asks. Think about the timeline. The changed passwords, the missing cash. Months, maybe longer. Alex keeps digging. Then she stops, her face going pale. Even there's more. She slides a second set of documents across the table. Apartment lease applications, moving truck reservations, all scheduled for next Friday. Not just an affair, a planned exit. They've been preparing to drain our joint savings account and disappear. Next Friday, 5 days from now. The floor drops out from under me. I haven't just lost my wife, I've nearly lost my future. As my silence bought me time to see the truth, but it almost cost me everything. That night, after Alex leaves, I sit in my home office until 3 a.m. Not grieving, planning. I document everything, make copies of every forged signature, every suspicious transaction, every piece of evidence Alex found. I don't confront Jennifer. I don't demand explanation. Instead, I prepare. I contact my bank and request fraud protection on all accounts. I file paperwork that will freeze our joint assets the moment anyone tries to make a large withdrawal. Legal separation papers ready to file. Asset protection measures that will trigger automatically. All of it silent, legal, invisible. By morning, I built a trap that will spring the moment she tries to take what isn't hers. Jennifer comes down for coffee, same routine as always. Sleep okay? She asks. Like a baby, I tell her. She smiles and checks her phone, probably texting Mark about their Friday timeline. She has no idea that Friday just became the day everything falls apart. 3 a.m. Wednesday morning. Jennifer sleeps next to me, breathing steady, dreaming about her new life. I slip out of bed and walk to my home office. Time to change the locks. Not on the house, on the accounts. I reset every password on every financial platform we share. Banking, credit cards, investment accounts, even the auto-pay for her gym membership. Each new password gets logged in a document Alex will file with the court this morning. Every click of the mouse is another door slamming shut. By 4 a.m., I've locked her out of everything that matters. She can keep texting Mark all she wants. She just can't fund their escape plan anymore. Alex meets me at the courthouse at 8 a.m. sharp. She's carrying a thick folder of documents that will destroy Jennifer's entire strategy. You sure about this? She asks as we walk up the courthouse steps. Never been more sure of anything. We file the injunction together. Transaction logs, forged signatures, email evidence, the whole playbook. I request that all notifications go through my attorney, never to the house. Let Jennifer find out the hard way that her game is over. The trap is set. Now we wait. I don't have to wait long. 2 days later, Thursday afternoon, I'm working from home when my phone rings. The bank. Mr. Crane, we have Jennifer Crane here trying to make a large withdrawal from your joint account. Our system shows you've placed a fraud alert. Should we proceed? I look out the window. Jennifer's car isn't in the driveway. No. Deny the transaction. Followed the court order. Understood, sir. 20 minutes later, I'm sitting on my front porch when her car pulls up. She gets out slow, like someone who's just been hit by a truck. Her phone buzzes. She texts back fast, fingers jabbing at the screen. I can see her message reflected in the rearview mirror from where I sit. Cards declined. Accounts frozen. What do we do now? She looks up at the house, sees me on the porch. For a second, something passes across her face. Not guilt, not shame. Fear. She knows the game is up. She just doesn't know how badly she's already lost. Friday comes and goes. No moving truck, no apartment keys, no joint savings withdrawal. Just silence. Saturday morning, I'm at the bank closing the last shared account when I get a text from Alex. Mark's at your house. Process server is ready. Perfect timing. I'm not there to watch the show, but I don't need to be. Mark pulls into my driveway at 10:47. I am, according to my neighbor's security camera. He gets out of his car like he owns the place, walks up to my front door like he's coming home. Instead, he's greeted by a process server with a restraining order and a civil suit naming him as a party to conspiracy, fraud, and identity theft. The look on his face, captured in high definition by 3 different security cameras, is worth every penny this legal process will cost me. By Monday, Jennifer's world starts collapsing faster than she can manage. She tries to argue when she gets home Sunday night, demands to know what I've done, how I found out, why I didn't just talk to her about it. We could have worked this out, she says. I'm sitting at the kitchen table, same spot where Alex and I reviewed all her forged signatures. Could we? You're being dramatic, Ethan. It's not what you think. Every step has been documented, every account sealed, every move preempted. She's trying to play a game where I've already removed all the pieces from the board. Tuesday morning, her phone rings. HR from her company. Anonymous tip. Alex tells me later. Someone reported suspicious financial activity tied to Jennifer's employee accounts. She's suspended pending investigation. But here's the real twist, the one even I didn't see coming. Alex calls me Tuesday night with news that changes everything. 18. I ran a background check on Mark. You're not going to believe this. Mark isn't just some guy Jennifer met and fell for. He's a serial con artist with records in Ohio, Kentucky, and Tennessee. His specialty? Targeting women in dual-income marriages, convincing them to drain joint accounts, then disappearing with half the money. Jennifer wasn't his first victim. She was his 4th. But here's the part that hits like a punch to the gut. The forged signatures on my accounts started 8 months ago, long before Mark ever texted her at midnight. Jennifer wasn't just cheating, she was stealing from me before she ever met him. Maybe she was planning to run alone, maybe she was building an exit fund, maybe she just got greedy. Or maybe Mark found the perfect partner, someone who was already halfway to being a criminal. Either way, my wife wasn't just complicit in the end. She was the one who opened the door. Wednesday morning, I pour my coffee and check the news. There's a small item in the local paper about a man arrested for financial fraud. Mark's mugshot stares back at me from page 3. Jennifer's not mentioned by name, but the article notes that charges are pending against a co-conspirator. I fold the paper and set it aside. The house is quiet now. No midnight texting, no hushed phone calls, no lies over breakfast. Just the sound of a life being rebuilt, one careful decision at a time. Monday morning, the serving happens right on schedule. I'm at work, running through shipping manifest like it's any other day. My routine unchanged, my focus steady. But back home, the neighbors are watching. Not loudly. This is suburban Indiana, after all, but with enough whispers that word travels fast. Mrs. Henderson from next door texts me a photo. Thought you should know, police car in your driveway, everything okay? Everything's perfect, actually. By noon, emails start piling up in Jennifer's inbox. HR from her company, the bank's fraud division, legal notices from my attorney. She calls me twice. I let it go to voicemail. The third call, I answer. Ethan, we need to talk. No, I tell her. We really don't. She's crying when she hangs up. Funny how tears come so easy when the consequences finally arrive. Tuesday afternoon, Jennifer gets called into HR. The evidence Alex provided is undeniable. Forged documents, unauthorized account access, pattern of financial misconduct. She's placed on leave, pending investigation. The same day, Mark's face gets shared with local police, thanks to my neighbor's security camera footage. High-definition images of him walking up my driveway like he owned the place. Now everyone knows what he looks like, and everyone knows he was at my house. Wednesday brings third-party validation, the kind that makes everything official. The bank's fraud division calls me at work. Mr. Crane, we've completed our investigation. You're not at fault for any of the fraudulent accounts opened in your name. They freeze all the credit lines Jennifer opened using my identity. Every penny of debt she tried to saddle me with gets wiped clean. The police add Mark to the state database for financial crimes. His con artist career in Indiana is officially over. But here's what really breaks the dam. Her circle starts to crumble. Jennifer tries calling her friends, her colleagues, even her parents. Tries to spin some story about misunderstandings, about me being controlling, about how she's the real victim here. Every attempt collapses under documentation. Email threads between her and Mark talking about their exit strategy. Hotel receipts under her maiden name. Bank surveillance footage of her making withdrawals at 2 a.m. Security camera images of Mark at our house, clear as day. Her best friend Sarah stops returning calls after Alex anonymously sends her copies of the forged credit applications. Her parents drive up from Louisville Thursday morning. I watch from my office window as they sit in their car for 10 minutes before going inside. They leave an hour later. Haven't seen them since. You can't argue with math. You can't spin away evidence. You can't charm your way out of felony charges. Friday morning, Mark gets arrested for identity theft and conspiracy. The news runs his mugshot again, this time with more details about his multi-state operation. Jennifer gets named as a co-conspirator. Not just divorce papers waiting for her now, criminal charges and restitution demands. But the real symbolic reversal comes the following week. Jennifer tries to claim half the house in the divorce proceedings, claims it's a community property, that she has rights, that 12 years of marriage entitles her to something. The court reviews the evidence, the forged signatures, the identity theft, the conspiracy charge. The house, once theirs, gets ruled as mine alone. All her claims denied, every right revoked by the same paperwork she tried to weaponize against me. She stands outside on the sidewalk Thursday afternoon, loading the last of her belongings into her car. A few suitcases, some personal items, nothing valuable. Everything else stays with me. The house, the accounts, the life we built together. She looks up at the bedroom window where her phone used to glow at midnight. For a moment, I think she might wave, might try one last charm offensive. Instead, she just gets in her car and drives away. No dramatic speech, no final confrontation, no movie moment where someone gets the last word. Just a woman who gambled everything on a con man and lost. The neighbors watch from their windows as her car disappears around the corner. Then they go back to their own lives, their own problems, their own quiet dramas. Mrs. Henderson brings me a casserole that evening. Saw Jennifer moving out. You holding up okay? Better than okay, I tell her. And for the first time in months, that's actually true. The house feels different now, lighter, like someone opened all the windows and let the stale air finally escape. I walk through the rooms that used to be ours, now just mine again. No more hidden phones buzzing in the dark. No more lies over morning coffee. No more marriage that was just a contract waiting to be dissolved. Some contracts, it turns out, are easier to break than others, especially when the other party gives you all the documentation you need. The house is silent finally. No more midnight buzzing cutting through the darkness. No more double-locked drawers hiding secrets. No more cold coffee at dawn while someone lies about family emergencies. Just silence. Clean, honest silence. I stand in the bedroom and look at the spot where her phone always glowed in the dark. That corner of the bed where betrayal lived for months, pulsing blue every night after midnight. I pull out my phone and scroll to her contact. Jennifer. Not Jen or wife or any of the sweet names couples use. Just Jennifer. I delete it, not angrily, not dramatically, just methodically, like closing a file that's no longer needed. The contact disappears with a simple swipe. There's one last piece of business to handle. I walk to the safe in my home office and pull out the last printed bank statement she ever signed. Her signature, forged in her own handwriting, authorizing withdrawals she had no right to make. I don't shred it. That feels too ordinary for what this represents. Instead, I carry it to the kitchen sink and light a match. The paper burns slowly, edges curling black, her fake signature disappearing into ash. I watch the numbers dissolve. All those stolen dollars, all those midnight plans, all those lies turning to smoke. When it's done, I run water over the ashes and watch them spiral down the drain. In the hallway, there's still an old family photo on the table. Jennifer and me at some company picnic, both of us smiling like we meant it. I replace it with a picture of Alex and me from last summer, fishing at the lake. Two people who actually trust each other. The old photo goes in the garbage. Not the recycling, the garbage. Some things don't deserve a second life. I don't make speeches to the empty house. I don't look back through old albums or wonder what went wrong. That night, I go to bed with my phone off. No alarms, no notifications, no reason to check the time. The room is dark and silent. No blue glow, no hidden messages, no lies buzzing under the covers. For the first time in over a year, I sleep through the night. Morning comes, quiet, sunlight through clean windows, no shadows of deception. I pour a single cup of coffee, not two, one. I sit at the kitchen table and pull out a notepad, write a list of things to fix around the house. Leaky faucet in the guest bathroom, touch-up paint on the front porch, replace the burnt-out bulb in the garage. Nothing urgent, nothing dramatic, nothing that can't wait another day or week or month. Restored. Small tasks for a man who has all the time in the world to do them right. The house is mine again. The silence is mine again. The mornings are mine again. No more contracts waiting to be dissolved. No more midnight mysteries. No more wondering who my wife really is. Because I don't have a wife anymore. I have a house, a job, a sister who has my back, and a life that finally adds up the way it's supposed to. The numbers balance. The signatures are real. The trust is earned. And when my phone stays dark at midnight, it's because that's exactly what phones are supposed to do when honest people are sleeping. I finish my coffee, fold the list, and get ready for work. Another day in a life that finally makes sense. The story is over. The quiet has won.